what is the stock market? If you want to learn how to invest, that's probably a good question to ask, right? Well, it's actually really simple. The stock market is simply a place where you can buy and sell parts of ownership of big companies, okay? Now, for you, that idea alone might be worth watching the rest of this video, because if you want to actually invest with wisdom and not just guess, you have to actually understand what it is that the company you are buying into does, and like what you're buying. There's a name for that, and it's called fundamental analysis, okay? And there's a whole list of words that you have to know if you want to actually do it right. I used to do this the long way. Literally, I remember doing this in Microsoft Excel, where I would pull financial statements, build charts, compare companies side by side. It was like, is X company versus Y company better? And how do they compare against industry standards? And how do they do all of this stuff? And I would draw graphs and lines and charts and fill out whole documents. I actually have older videos on my YouTube channel that show me doing this. So if you want to check them out, they're wild. But yeah, it's like, it was such a pain. It used to take me like hours and hours and hours, sometimes multiple days, just to figure out what I wanted to do. And it required me to know what I was looking at, where to find it, how to read it, and like how to even run the math to do the numbers to find the things that I needed to understand, okay? Now, I told you the name of this is called fundamental analysis. It's actually not that complicated anymore, and there's a couple reasons for it. So fundamental analysis is actually just answering a couple of simple questions about a company. It's like, okay, are they making money? Are they gonna go bankrupt? Do they provide useful service? And do people actually want it? Do they have good accounting? Are their numbers right? Are they making money? Are they doing well over time? Are they in a viable market position? Do they have a good competitive advantage? And stuff like that, okay? So if you can answer those basic ideas, you already have like a working definition of fundamental analysis. But if you want to do it right, there's a couple of vocabulary terms that you have to have, okay? So the vocabulary and the things that you need to know are, it's not a ton of stuff, but it's very specific, okay? So some of the things you need to know are like PE ratios, which is price divided by earnings. Basically, it tells you whether the stock is cheap or expensive based on how much the company is actually making, okay? You need to know beta, which measures how much a stock's price changes compared to the overall stock market. And if it's a higher beta, then it's more volatile, it moves more. If it's lower, then it's less volatile, it moves less. Right, you need to know things like EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Basically, it's like, hey, how much money are we making before our accountants come and do their thing? And so you need to know like revenue, how much money is the company bringing in, and what's it doing over time? Okay, so it's really not that complicated. And the cool thing is that now you don't have to memorize them all. You just have to know that they exist so that when you see them, you can like understand what they are and what you're looking at, okay? Now, what's cool is I told you I used to do this in Excel, and it was a pain and it was a headache and it took so long. None of that is necessary. You don't have to do any of that anymore. It's crazy, okay? It used to be that you had to learn what every term meant, where to find every number, how to read financial statements, how to do statements of cash flow, and read the quarterly earnings reports and all of this stuff. Then you had to know how to use Microsoft Excel. So you go in there, do the things, build the graphs, build the charts, figure out what was what. And a lot of times you even had to do the math yourself to get to things like the PE ratio. What's cool is that now, because of this crazy thing called artificial intelligence, the AI systems can go in, do the math, find the numbers, explain what they mean in plain English, pull the stuff off of the internet, and use it. Here's the thing though. AI sometimes like hallucinates. It just makes things up, okay? Because the way AI basically works is it goes and pulls all of these things out of the internet, but it's all general information. And it mixes it all together and it presents it, and it sounds very confident, even if it's completely wrong, which is insane. So you can't just go to AI and be like, hey, analyze this stock, and then just trust whatever it says, because it might be giving you things that have nothing to do with what you're doing and what your goals are, okay? So you don't have to do the hard work, and you do still have to know what you're looking for. You do still have to be able to direct the AI, and you have to know the right questions to ask to get it to do the work right. So the part that changed is not that the vocabulary doesn't matter. The questions, the knowledge, the things still matter. What changed is that you don't have to do the work anymore. Now, here's what crazy, and I figured this out last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. But the right AI with the right framing and the right knowledge and the right frameworks in place to help it know what matters and what doesn't matter and how to find the right things can actually solve like 99% of this for you. It's insane, okay? So I actually built something that does basically all of this for you, based on your goals, based on your life, not like me going, hey, go buy this stock with AI mixed in. It's like, no. What matters to you? Okay, cool. Now the AI has the framework and the training and the knowledge and the tools and the resources that it needs to be able to like use the right pieces, like the right different AI systems to go do the right things, to find the right information from the right places based on what you want and give you useful information so you can get started. It is seriously nuts, okay? And it's crazy. And it does it in a way where it also can teach you in plain English. Like, oh, here's what PE means. And if you don't understand that, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Let me explain it in a more simple way. Or let me come up with a new analogy to explain it. Like, it's crazy because the AI can think now. It's wild. Okay. So I created this thing. It's called Stock Market Starters AI. It's in beta testing right now. I made another video about this earlier this week. Okay. And so if this idea is interesting, if you're like, what in the world is this dude talking about? Then check out that video. Yeah, because I think it'll be worth your time. So I'll put the, well, I guess on YouTube, I'll link it right here. But yeah, this is insane. So if you want to see what this looks like and see how AI can actually make investing easier, then yeah, check out that video because you guys, you're going to be amazed at what this thing can actually do.